Hello, Brad here, just to say we're super proud that the Friday 5pm podcast is sponsored by the Malt Miller, the UK's best home brew store.
We use the Malt Miller for all of our homebrew experiments, as well as tapping them up for advice and binging on their awesome YouTube channel all the time.
That's why whenever we release a homebrew video, we put a recipe kit live on the Malt Miller, so you can brew with the exact same amazing ingredients that we did. The same ingredients used by pro brewers.
So alongside the Malt Miller's nitro-flushed hops, cold-stored yeast and milled-to-order malts, you can pick up recipe kits for our 5 Points Best Bitter, Russian River West Coast IPA, and now the fastest beer in the world, a hazy session IPA that goes from grain to glass in less than 48 hours.
Sign up to their newsletter at tinyurl.com/Malt Miller to get 5% off your first order. With the Malt Miller's amazing customer service and Johnny's 48-hour recipe, you could order the ingredients on a Monday and be drinking the beer by the weekend.
Speaking of which, it's Friday.
It's 5pm.
So enjoy this week's Friday 5pm podcast. Good evening, Beer Geeks. It's Friday, it's 5pm, and I am about to go on a 2-week holiday.
Yeah, man. That's pretty exciting for you, mate. And you've got some other exciting news. I don't know if you want to get straight into it or... Come on, Johnny.
I mean,
why
you trailed
are you
it
having a
so
2-week
hard.
holiday, mate?
I'm going on holiday because in a matter of days, a matter of hours, I am getting married.
Way!
Which is dead exciting. We're having a lovely little ceremony in one of my favourite local pubs. And then we're going on is it called a staycation if you're actually driving for about 6 hours? But we're going to Cornwall to
Lovely.
walk beaches and drink in pubs. So I am dead excited about that, and I've announced it up front. A, because Brad kept talking about it at the end of last week's podcast, and B, because there won't be a podcast or a video next week. And I know that's going to leave many of you bereft and confused. And by many of you, I mostly mean me and Brad, because we won't have Wednesday to look forward to when we get to talk to all you guys.
Yes, you deserve a proper break, man. And you know, bloody hell, man. This is monumental. You are the first half of the craft beer channel to put a ring on it.
It's true. Congrats,
man.
Thank you, Brad. I couldn't. I was going to say I couldn't have done it without you. I definitely could.
You could.
Yeah, but it's exciting. So obviously Brad will be there on the big day. We've got some delicious beer. We've got some Daya, some Kernel, some Lost and Grounded. I've made sure the beer list is impeccable.
Lovely stuff. Cannot wait.
Don't you worry about that. So that's super exciting. Not as exciting, but still exciting is this week's video.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty exciting. If you weren't getting married, I think we'd be kind of like hanging from the rafters here. This is a great video.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to express how great it is when it's in comparison to what will hopefully be the greatest day of my life. You know, she could still stand me up, and she'd have very good reason, but hopefully she won't.
No.
So this week we were. It was the second episode of our Secret to Home Brewing New England IPA series, which we did in association with Lallemand Brewing, who are an amazing yeast supplier all over the world, making amazing yeasts and quite literally fueling the craft beer industry in Europe. And they teamed up with Verdant Brew Co, one of our favourite breweries, to release Verdant's House Strain as a dried yeast for everyone else to use. And before we get into the video, I just want to say that yeast is absolutely amazing.
I mean, let's be honest here. It's kind of the secret sauce to homebrew NEIPAs. It's something. I'm kind of amazed that Verdant were that generous to kind of let it out into the wild, so to speak, because they've already got competitors using it. I mean, that's cool, isn't it, of them to have done that?
Yeah, I think it's one of the sort of less tangible things that makes craft brewing, and that you share knowledge, you share ingredients. You know, I'm on some professional brewing forums, which is full of brewers, and it's just constantly people going like, "Oh, I've run out of Simcoe. Has anybody got some I can borrow till my allotment comes through in a couple of weeks? Or has anybody got a tip? I've got this infection or this issue with one of my beers. What am I doing wrong?" And everyone's helping everyone, and this is just like the absolute pinnacle of that. I assume there is some financial kickback for Verdant, but it's a big thing to give away what is definitely one of their. It's like a fingerprint on their beer. Like a Verdant beer is different to everybody else's because of that apricot, vanilla, rich body kind of vibe that yeast has, and that it's brought to our beer. And I've already tasted 3 or 4 that have used that yeast in commercial breweries like Unity, Elusive, and you can tell that they've used that yeast. It's very different to other New England yeasts.
Big time. It's making me think back to John Kimmich and his yeast. Was it Conan?
Conan yeast, yeah.
Conan yeast, which he wouldn't. There's no way he would be giving that out.
No, he wouldn't even say where he got it.
No, exactly. Like he's very cloak and dagger about that. But I mean, I totally get that too. I think they're both kind of valid things to be done. And it's great that Verdant are kind of helping people race to the top rather than sink to the bottom, which is a lovely thing to do within a community, isn't it? To help each other out. Great stuff.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do, and it's a wonderful project. Huge thanks to Lallemand for sponsoring the videos so that we could really go to town, spend a lot of time on it, and make what I think are 2 of the best kind of narrative. I mean, the cask one is obviously the best narrative. Like that was. I'll forever remember lockdown as one of the ways I'll remember it is me deciding I'm going to brew cask ale for the first time, and that story was magic. But this one's still wonderful as well because I'd never brewed a great New England IPA at home, and that yeast was the secret sauce. And having James's ear from Verdant to get all those tips and be able to pass them on to you was dead exciting.
Yeah, it's great stuff, man. Like really amazing content.
Yeah,
and I must say I really enjoyed your little kind of, I guess, sort of like a Star Wars kind of throwback thing you did on this last video, where you're sitting looking dismayed on a sofa and kind of delirious, and you're getting visions from your master, who's feeding you sort of information.
Yeah,
Touch of genius, mate.
It was Star Wars inspired by my A star in GCSE drama, which I'm very proud of. My parents couldn't give a shit about that, but yeah. That was a cool thing. And then I don't know whether you enjoyed the bit where, so I got that review from James, and I was like,
yeah, because
James is slow and he's considered, and I was like, I need to speed this up somehow. So I thought I'd film myself reacting.
Yes, which I love those.
I probably went overboard with as well. Probably wouldn't have got an A star for that particular performance.
But the one I particularly liked was the very slow head dropping down to like an incredibly low level where I couldn't believe you kept going.
I'm a flexible man.
No.
Actually, that's
surely
not true.
It's going to stop. Surely the joke's ended. No, he's going. He's still going.
Well, humour, wow, the longer you string out a joke, the funnier it is,
exactly.
Right? That's the core tenet of humour, right? Definitely not brevity.
Yeah, why not, eh? No, I thought it was great. Very good, man. Great stuff. What comments have we got from this video anyway?
Well, so we've had loads of comments. Most of them are just chuffed for us. There's not a lot else to it. Just everyone's like, that was amazing. That's amazing. It looks amazing. And we love those comments. But yeah, everyone was just delighted to see that.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite on the level of, I mean, my face when I poured that cask ale in the cask ale video was something else. Like I was literally losing my shit. This one, we were still very happy, and people have still picked up on it and gone like, your faces. Somebody said it was like Christmas morning.
I think like for me, what you obviously brewed it at yours, and I was coming around helping on the brew day, and then just coming to taste all the hard work you put into it, basically. But for me, I was absolutely blown away. I'd say I was almost more blown away than the cask ale one. Just the level of flavour, and it just tasted like a Verdant beer, mate. I was amazed that was something we brewed at home.
Yeah, it's such a shame it got ever so slightly oxidised on the way to James, which I think must have been the bottling. Like we purged the bottles, but that's still with a New England IPA or a Pilsner or a Helles that are crazy sensitive to oxygen, that's still not going to be enough really on a homebrew setup. Because in keg, even now, I'm just down to the last dregs of it. It's not really got any oxidation character whatsoever. Like maybe it's starting to creep in, like 2 or 3%, which I'd kind of expect on a homebrew setup. That's why you drink your homebrews fresh. But yeah, I was annoyed that James got a little bit of oxidation off it. But I think we got some great processes, some great ideas, and brewing's all about marginal gains. So next New England IPA we make, and we will be making more on the channel, we'll just keep refining those processes until we get that dissolved oxygen down to the point where we've got a stable beer for 6, 10, 12, 3-4 months. And that's a really hard thing to get right. That's one of the hardest things you can do as a professional brewer, let alone a home brewer.
Definitely.
In terms of other comments, we've got lots of people asking about the hacked homebrew fridge. We're definitely going to do a little video on that, although I think there are lots on the internet already. But we like to think that when we do something that's already been done, we'll find a new way to do it and make it entertaining. So we probably will do a hacked homebrew fridge video at some point.
Yeah, man, without a doubt, I'd love to do that. I think we've obviously got your fridge already, but we should make a cool fridge. Maybe we can.
What you say my fridge isn't
window
cool?
in. No, it's really cool. Maybe we can get like a window in there somehow or something.
We'll need a window with a curtain we can pull down to protect it from light.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
We'll have some.
We need like a peep show sort of thing going on. A little peephole, just to get in there and check everything.
I was just thinking like you could install some blinds in there. Or is that a bit much?
No, I don't think so. It might go a bit mildewy though, because it'd be cold.
That is
maybe
true.
We could use some sort of plastic.
Yeah.
There are many things we can do, Johnny.
Yeah.
Many things.
And we're going to be ramping up the homebrew content big time, particularly in 2021, once me and Brad can see each other more. But we're definitely going to be doing more homebrew this year and slowly ramping it all up for sure. Talking about comments that we had, I unfortunately I cannot find the specific comment, but somebody, and I apologise to the user, had a really great idea in the comments, which was saying like, so we do live shows once a month. Why don't we convert one of those live shows into a live brew along? And perhaps we could, via the podcast or via a video or both, all come up with like a crowdsourced recipe, and then we could all brew it together on the same day, have a couple of beers and enjoy each other's company. Maybe we could even do it on Zoom so we could take questions live from people and just make a day of it.
I love it.
Might be a really, really nice idea. So we'll have a little think about that. If you have any ideas, do drop us an email. It's you can I give out our email? Yeah, it's craftbeerboys@gmail.com. Do email us or tweet us at Beer Channel or Instagram at Craft Beer Channel, or hit us up on Facebook, and we will definitely take your thoughts on board and see if we could come up with a really cool concept.
Definitely. Johnny, I've just remembered, we did say at one point we would love people to be voice messaging us and sending us questions that we could put directly into this podcast. Nobody's taken us up on that, have they? No,
nobody has. They were going to email a recorded question, weren't they? That was what it was going to be. So please do feel to do that. Record a little question just on QuickTime or whatever you record your stuff with, and you can email that to us, craftbeerboys@gmail.com. Yeah, nobody has done that. Maybe we need to get a burner phone so it's easier and you can just leave a voicemail.
That would be great, actually.
Every week the number will change, because obviously we'll be inundated.
Oh, yes. We could get Johnny, I reckon we could get a £5 burner phone from Tesco or somewhere and just set it up for voicemails.
I guess we're not going to be calling anyone, are we?
No.
Just need enough.
Not unless I need to run off and change my identity all of a sudden. Then I might need the burner phone. Otherwise,
is that a risk?
I mean, it's always a risk, isn't it? Anything could happen.
Thing is, now that you're a famous beer influencer, you're gonna have to cut your glorious locks off or something so that you're not recognised.
I know, right? I got spotted in a park yesterday.
Did you?
Yesterday? No, day before yesterday. Yeah, just a guy just came up. I mean, he was really nice. He just said, "Love your channel," but I was sort of grimacing at the time because my girlfriend wanted to go and get a coffee, and I was looking at the queue to get a coffee, and it was probably 50 people deep in this park. So he must have seen me grimacing as I turned at him. So I would have looked a bit like a dragon. And then I sort of had to change my expression to sort of like, "Oh, thanks, man." But I remember being very conscious that I probably looked like a gargoyle as I turned around because
I think you've overthought that, Brad. I
overthink everything.
He
mate.
probably, yeah, that's true. He probably saw the queue as well and was like, "That's why Brad looks like a dragon." And I'm just glad he's turned it round for me.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes. Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
I will need some sort of facial disguise if I was ever to go on the lam.
It is.
Maybe I'll just have a tash or something. I reckon I could be a pretty good Pablo Escobar if I sort of shave my beard off.
Yeah, I could see that working
Just have
for
a
you.
tash.
Yeah.
You know, I could get some sort of 70s sideburns and maybe a comb over. I'm quite suave. I could probably pass for sort of kind of I'd get a good tan basically. That's not. I can say that, can't I? I'm not being.
Yeah, I think
racist
you're
there.
all right there. Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah.
Oh, I hope I wasn't. I wasn't intending to be. God.
Anyway, it's lovely to be recognised, Brad. So don't go changing your
Yes.
appearance for that. It usually only happens at beer festivals, but every now and then I was in Bank Tube a couple of months before lockdown, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, "Uh-oh, what have I done?" And they just wanted to say they love the channel. So it is really lovely, although it does confuse, because we're not used to it. It does confuse you for the first 5 seconds. You're like, "You love my what?"
Yeah.
And then you go like, "Oh yeah, of course people do watch this." We're having our best month ever in terms of views. We're nearly at 200,000 views for this month, so that's pretty crazy.
What? That is
Sorry,
crazy.
not for this month, not for September. That'd be mad. It's the second, or third, fourth. I don't know what day it is, but the last 28 days. So that'll be our
Amazing.
best month ever, which I think is off the back of homebrew. So I'm really glad that everybody's really enjoying it, and we're now going to ruin that growth by not having a video for a week. But there we go. We just have to let that go. Cool. Well, that's everything we've got for this week. It's a little bit of a short one because, well, I've got a wedding to finish planning, even if it is very, very small. And I haven't done everything. And my girlfriend's she's just finished writing the place settings in her nice calligraphy.
Lovely.
And I feel like I need to chip in a little bit more than I have over the last couple of days because I've been finishing this homebrew video. So guys, thank you so much for being part of these homebrew videos that we've been doing over lockdown. We promise there's lots more to come, and we promise that with every one that we make, we will always try to make it as entertaining as possible for those who aren't even going to brew it. So there's always a story there, and if you are going to brew it, then we promise to give you every bit of detail we possibly can. Speaking of which, the recipe is on Brewer's Friend now. That's live in public, and it's on our website with lots more details in the more intricate stuff that we kind of cover in the video, but we go into detail on the blog as well. So you can check that out. I'll put that in the descriptions box for this podcast. Otherwise we won't see you for 2 weeks. There won't be a podcast next week either, but we will be back with a vengeance the week after. Hopefully with a video, but definitely with a Friday 5 p.m. A fortnight today. So much love to you guys, and Bradley. I'll see you on the big day.
Mate, I cannot wait. I haven't got a hat, but I've got some jazzy outfit I'm gonna wear.
Oh,
so it's gonna be great, man. I'm gonna have such a great day watching you guys. You guys are beautiful. It's gonna be amazing.
It is. I've even got a tailored suit. The tailor called me fat. Can you believe it?
What?
Yeah, he called me fat. But it's a lovely suit, and you'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Can't wait, man.
And I'll tell you the story of how the man thinks I'm fat. He patted my belly and said it was beautiful. It was a very strange moment. I can't go into it when I'm trying to wind this podcast down, so I won't. Maybe I'll tell you in a fortnight's time. Guys, thank you for continuing to watch, and we will see you a fortnight today with Friday 5 p.m. Much love. The Bubble Podcast is brought to you by the nerds behind YouTube's craft beer channel. Head to youtube.com/the craft beer channel to watch this week's video and over 400 more exciting episodes. If you love what we do, please do subscribe and even join our Patreon at patreon.com/craft beer channel. Love and beer.